Let us start. Now, we have started this problem. A piece of material subjected to tensile two perpendicular stresses. First problem number A, both are tensile 100 MPa and 60 MPa. B, 100 MPa tensile and 60 MPa compressive. C, compressive of both of them, 100 MPa and tensile 100, compressive 100 MPa and tensile of 60 MPa, and both compressive 100 MPa and both compressive 100 MPa and 60 MPa. Now, normal, we have to determine the normal and tangential force on a plane inclined at 30 degree to the plane of 100 MPa stress. Also find resultant and its information with the normal stress. We have gone through the first two, I think second, first, second. Let us go from the third. Now, here what we are doing, number C is the sigma x here is 100 is minus 100 MPa. Here sigma x here sigma x is 100 MPa and sigma y is 60 MPa. Sigma x is compressive, so you should add negative to it. Sigma y is tensile, so we don't have to anything. We don't have to do anything for it. Now theta is given as 30 degree. It is the angle made by the plane, by the oblique plane, with the plane of 100 MPa, means with the plane of sigma x, with the plane of normal, not with the normal plane. So we are plotting one after another. We put this value one after another. That is, put sigma x as 100, sigma y as 60, and theta as 30 degree in the equation constant, which will give us the by the stress on the oblique plane, that is sigma 30 is equal to minus 60 MPa. And in the equation of tau, where in the equation of tau 30, where is half sigma x minus sigma y divided by 2 into sine 2 theta is equal to, we put the value of sigma x and sigma y and put the value of sine 60, we'll get the tau theta as 69.28 MPa. That is counterclockwise, it is clockwise. So it is positive. If it was negative, that is, it is supposed to be supposed to be counterclockwise. So the resultant stress sigma theta square plus tau theta square root under the square root. So minus 60 plus minus 60 whole square plus 69.28 whole square, which is equal to, after the square root, after the making the square root, it is becomes sigma 1 91.65 MPa. Then inclination with 30 of this rectangular stress, I mean this resultant stress is tan phi tau theta divided by sigma theta is 69.28 by 60. That is equal to 1.155, or phi is becomes, if we take the tangent of it, it will become 49.01 degree. It can be found by minus also. These results are shown in figure A. Next, the D, it comes here. I think it is the D. Both are compressive in nature. This is this equation here. Here, sigma x. Here, sigma x is here 100 MPa. Sigma y is here 60 MPa. As both are compressive in nature, both should be negative. and theta is again 30 degree here, as like the earlier problem. It is the inclination of this oblique plane with the plane of 100 MPa, where we know the plane of 100 MPa is normal to the longitudinal axis of the bar, and where plane AB is along the axis of the bar. Now, the 30 theta is equal to again 30. So, in the equation of sigma x minus sigma y, this equation here, sigma 30 is sigma x cos theta minus sigma x cos theta plus sigma x sin theta, sin square theta. That is sigma x cos theta minus plus sigma y sin square theta, or it can be, we can solve the reduce it further to sigma x plus sigma y minus 1 sigma x sigma y plus 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by minus sin 2 cos 2 theta, like this. So it is not required here. We are putting sigma x as 100, sigma x as 50. Both are negative because both are compressive. Theta is equal to 30 degree and theta is also equal to 30 degree. So here, as cos 30 degree square root of 3 by 2, this is become 3 by 4, and sin 30 degrees to half, that is become 4. So 100 minus 100 into 3 by 4 minus 60 into half is equal to minus 90 MPa. Both are compressive. Tau max is equal to half sigma x minus sigma y multiplied by sin 2 theta, half sigma x minus sigma y multiplied by sin 2 theta. So put the value of sigma x as 100, put the value of sigma y is minus 100, minus 60, put the value of sigma is equal to minus, actually minus 100, and sigma y is minus 60, so it becomes multiplied by half into sin 60. Sin 60 is equal to 0.066 square root of 2, so 3 by 2 multiplied by 20, means this is minus 100 plus 60 minus 20, and this minus is cancelling this minus, so it is divided by 2 is 20. So 0.0866 into 20 is 17.32. As it is plus, it is counterclockwise, is clockwise. The resultant stress sigma r square root of sigma theta square plus tau theta square. Put the value of sigma theta square is equal to minus 90 MPa, and put the value of tau theta is plus 17.32. Both are squared and all together under square root. So this becomes 91.65 MPa. So inclination with type sigma 30 tan phi, tau 30 by sigma 30, 17.32 divided by 90, 0.1924, or phi is equal to 10.99 degree, or can be found to be 19.1 degree. So we have cleared all these four problems where the input internal pressure sigma x on sigma y are either compressive or tensile in nature, or compressive in nature, and they are put in alternative. The in-between angle between sigma x and the normal is equal to theta, which is equal to 30 always. So where we have to calculate the value of the resultant stress as well as the inclination with sigma x, and by this equation, and for all these four cases. Let us go for the next problem. Just a second. For the next problem, a piece of material is subjected to perpendicular tensile stresses sigma x 100 MPa and 60 MPa. Determine the plane on which the resultant stress has maximum obliquity with the normal. Also find the resultant stress on this plane. So here sigma x is given here and sigma y is also given here, but sigma theta or theta is not given. And we are supposed to find out the resultant stress which has the maximum obliquity to normal. And result is the resultant stress. We know from our equation which we have made, the maximum probability of the resultance of the with the normal of the plane is given by tan theta square root of sigma y x by sigma y. So here we know sigma x and sigma y. So 100 by 60, so 1.29, or theta is will be equal to 52.14 degree. This is the maximum phase. This is the plane where the resultant stress is maximum. Plane for maximum resultant stress. And what is the maximum resultant stress here? What is the value? We have to use this equation where we know sigma x, sigma y, as well as theta, but theta we put as equal to 52.24 degree. So if you put them all these values and get the numerical values, it will become 75. There is cos square 52.24 plus 60 sine square 52.24, and which is equal to 100 into 0.375 plus 60 into 0.75, and that is equal to total 75 MPa. That is the maximum stress. Shear stress will be given out from the formula minus half sigma x minus sigma y into sine 2 theta, where theta is equal to 52.24 degree, and sigma x is given, sigma y is also given. Sigma x is 100, so put 100 here. Sigma y is 60, put 60 here, and this becomes 40, divided by 2 is equal to 40, 20 multiplied by sine 104 into 40, but theta we are put 52.24. So this becomes minus 19.365. Resultant stress is given by resultant stress is given by sigma theta square 75 plus 19.965. Put this both the values, it becomes 77.46, and resultant stress can be inclined with the angle sigma x and sigma y with 0.252592 or 14.48. And this can be actioned by directly using this equation here. Now, question is, if you want to solve it by Mode cycle, what will do? So what is given here? This is the triangle of unit thickness which is on the face BD, which is the normal face, normal to the the lung, normal to the central, the central axis of this longitudinal axis. So over which it is acting 100 MPa plus, and the stress acting normal to it is equal to 60, which is given, and we have calculated that 52.5 is also known to us. But here, for the stress, let us see how we can calculate it. First of all, we have to put we have to put OE, and which is the minimum stress, and then we have put sigma x is equal to OE and sigma y is equal to OE, OF, and I'm sorry, sigma x OE is equal to sigma y, and OF sigma x is equal to 100 MPa and is equal to 60 MPa. So by taking its center with the difference between E and F and the center of this DF, we can draw a triangle and draw the circle, which is Mode cycle. Now, here we should know the tangent to this triangle OR is supposed to be the of maximum obliquity. So this is the 14.5. This is supposed to come here as 14.5 here. If you calculate this, if you measure this first, this angle, which will give you the maximum angle of maximum obliquity. So where the stress is maximum. So here it is shown 75 here and 160 and of the point O. This is the, if you drop a vertical here, that will become 75. And theta, it is inclined with an angle from here. This angle, if we join this angle from C to R, which is the maximum stress induced here, and it will induce an angle. If we measure it, it will become 104 into 104 into 4, that 104.4. So 2 theta will become 104.4 degree. As we know, we are plotting all this angle theta by multiplying by 2. So what is got from the Morse cycle, it is divided by 2 to get the actual angle. So this is become 100 theta into 104, which is equal to 52.2 degree. This is the inclination of maximum force. Thus, the maximum force, which is the, if you drop a vertical here, which is the maximum stress, and sigma x in the normal stress, maximum normal stress, sigma x, which is LR. If we measure the length, which is the length OL, I'm sorry. If we drop a vertical from R, which will intersect the x-axis at L, then O into L is the sigma on the sigma x maximum on the plane 52.2 degree inclined, and LR is that shear stress which is given by the plane. AL is the shear stress which is acting normal to the oblique plane. So by measuring this length, we'll measure the length OL, which is equal to 75 MPa if you convert it by scale, and measure the length LR, which is equal to 19.4, which we can convert it by scale. And sigma R, the length from here to here, that is the resultant stress, is given by 77.5 MPa if we measure the length and convert it. The inclination of the resultant with the x-axis is equal to on OL is equal to 14.5 if we measure 14.5. So our input here is the stress along x-axis, which we plot here as OF, stress along y-axis, which we plot here as OE. Both are tensile in nature, so it will come the right side of the origin. Next, by plotting these two, we are finding out the central point of the difference between these two lengths. That is, the difference between two lengths is EF and central point is C. And with the center at C and with the radius at CF or CE, we draw the Morse circle. And from the origin, we draw a tangent to the Morse circle in the positive direction. And this tangent will touch the Morse circle at the point R. And if we drop a vertical RL from the point R, which intersect to x-axis at L, then our maximum stress will be OL, and maximum tensile stress will be well on the oblique plane, and maximum compressive stress LR will be LR on the maximum shear stress will be LR on the same oblique plane. The orientation of the plane can be achieved by connecting C to R and measuring the angle with the x-axis in a clockwise direction. So it becomes this angle we find out is 104.4 degree, and we know as all these angles in Morse cycle are plotted, all the inclined angle in the Morse cycle plotted by multiplying it 2. So to get the actual angle, we have to divide it by 2. We have get the theta at 62.2. So if by measuring the length OL and LR and converting into stresses by your scale, you'll get the maximum stress and maximum tensile and maximum shear stress. And the resultant stress you can measure from the length OR and convert it to length. And the angle which is resultant is intersecting with the x-axis is given as 14.5, which you can measure here. So from analytically as well as theoretically, we can calculate both of them. we can calculate both this like itself. Now, let us go to the next problem. The stresses on two perpendicular planes. Just 1 second. The stresses on two perpendicular planes through a point in a body are say 60, 160 and 100 MPa. Both compressive. Both are compressive along with a shear stress of 80 MPa. So we got 3 sigma x 160 MPa, sigma y 100 MPa, and tau, which is 80. So this is compressive, and this is not mentioned. So we can say that it is positive. The normal and shear stresses, what we are supposed to do, the normal shear stress on a plane inclined 30 degrees to the plane of 160. So find the resultant stress and direction. So process is same. We got sigma x, sigma y, and tau. Tau we keep positive, and sigma x and sigma y is negative. Both are written as compressive. Tau is not written as whether it's clockwise or anti-clockwise. So we consider it positive and make it clockwise. So sigma theta calculation of the stress along any oblique plane inclined at angle theta, where theta is given as 30 degrees. So if you use this form of equation, half sigma x plus sigma y plus half sigma x plus sigma y cos 2 theta plus tau sin theta. So we put the values of sigma x, sigma y, theta, and tau. So 100 minus, both are minus, and this minus and minus plus cos 60, 30 multiplied by 2, 60, 80 is the shear stress, and here also theta is multiplied by 2, so 60. The result is minus 75.7 MPa. Means it is compressive in nature. Tau 30, half minus half sigma x and sigma y sin 2 theta plus sin cos 2 theta, minus half 160 minus plus 100 plus sin 30 plus 80 cos 60. So here is minus 60 and minus plus plus 60 into divided by 2 is 30 sin 30, that is 30 sin 60 plus 80 cos 60. So if you make the calculation, get sigma x, sigma y 66 MPa, as it is positive, it is clockwise. Next, the problem number 2, the normal stress on the plane at 90 degree inclined plane. Then as a resultant stress will be just directly finished 75 theta sigma theta plus tau theta whole square root 3 power square root minus 75. This is V1 from here and plus 66 from here. So this will become 100.4 MPa. Inclination tau 30 by sigma 30, 66 by 75.5 is equal to 0.872. So phi become 41.2. Now, the calculation of the normal stress at 120 degrees. So, if theta become 30 plus 90, next problem is 120 degrees. Sigma 30 plus sigma 90 degree, calculation of normal stress 120 plus sigma x plus sigma y. So, minus 30 minus 30 plus 90 plus sigma minus 160 minus 160 minus 100. So sigma 30 plus 90 is equal to minus 184.3. Now, what will be the diagrammatic presentation of the result? Results are diagrammatically shown here. We put the tensile stress 160. That was, I think it is wrong. It is compressive. It should come in this direction, and arrow should be here because it is compressive. So 100 MPa non-sensitive, but both clockwise in nature. This is 100, and we got 66 MPa shear stress. The clockwise in nature is positive. 75 MPa, which is compressive in nature, and 100.4, that is also compressive in nature. And the angle between them is 140 degrees. So the result we are showing graphically as 75 on foot of quick shear 66 MPa, and here 66 and 148 MPa. This is the resultant on 183.4 and 175.4. Now stresses on two perpendicular planes through a point in a body are next problem. It is the two perpendicular planes through a point in a body at 30 MPa and 15 MPa, both tensile along with shear stress 55 MPa. So sigma x 30, sigma y 15, shear stress tau 0 to 25. The maximum magnitude direction of principal stresses. Planes of maximum stresses, normal and shear stress on the planes of maximum shearing stress. So here, what is not available from the drawing is there is no angle with the maximum stress. So first of all, you have to calculate what is the principal stress. But there is no shear stress, but only tensile stress. Sigma x is shown here 30 and 25 on this plane. Shear stress on 25 on this plane, and 15 is the compressive tensile in nature here, and 25 is the shear stress anti-clockwise in nature. So plane of minor principal stress, the plane of major principal stress, we draw it like this, and it can be achieved from this like this. The value of the principal stress, sigma x, sigma y is known, tau is known. So we'll get the value as minus 48.6 MPa tensile, or maximum, and minus 36 and minus 3.6 MPa compressive. Tan theta 2 tau, here by sigma x minus sigma y, 2 into 25, here by 30 minus 25, 15. So it becomes 3.3, or 2 theta 73.3, or theta 1 is given as 36.65 degree, and theta 2 36.65 plus 90 to 226.65. The major principal stress and occurs on the plane at 36 with the plane of a 30 MB tensile stress, and the minor principal stress occurs on the plane 126. This can be verified by calculation from here. Now, let us consider the plane at maximum shear stress. The maximum stress generally occurs at planes at 45 degrees of principal stresses. That is on plane 36 plus 45, that is 81, and 126 plus 45, 171. The stresses on the plane of maximum stress, we have to put the value of 81 here, 81 here, and 2 into 81 here. And sigma x 30 and sigma y 15, and tau is given as 25. That is given as 25. So if you put respective values here and calculate, then it will become 22.5 MPa. Now on the plane of minus 8.35, the stress will be found to be the same. And on the plane as minus 3, stress will found to be the same. Cabal result is obtained from this equation, plus minus sigma x plus sigma y plus minus half 30 plus 50, 22.5 MPa. The shear stress on the plane of maximum shear stress, half plus minus half sigma x minus sigma y, that is the maximum tensile stress as well as maximum shear stress, that is 48 sigma x, 48.6, and minimum is 43.36 equal to plus minus 26.1 MPa. To correlate the direction of maximum stress, it's necessary to calculate the shear stress at one of the angle at 81 degrees centigrade, keeping the theta is equal to 81.65 degrees centigrade, and remains sigma x and sigma y as it is. So shear 81 degrees centigrade will become 26 MPa. Thus, on a plane inclined at 81.65 with a plane 30 degrees, the shear stress is 26.1 MPa counterclockwise, and on a plane 171.65. Now, solution by the Morse factor. Here, both are tensile in nature. So here we are plotting a value of O, and OL become the length from here to here. OL is the 30 MPa, OM is 15 MPa, both in the same direction, but they are overlapping. OM, and LR from OL, LR and MS both are equal to 25 MPa, that is the shear stress. Then with this value of O into F and O into M and take this the center of it, we'll get the value somewhere here. Then Morse circle drawn with central C and with diameter LS or LM, diameter CR or CL. Major principal stress OF is 28.8 MPa and at an angle 73.2 clockwise, and of CR on plane of 30 MPa tensile stress. Minor principal stress OE is equal to 36 MPa compressive and angle 23.3 to 126.5 clockwise of CR and a plane of 30 MPa tensile stress. The maximum stress CG, that is C to G, is CH is that is CH is equal to 26.1 MPa. The inclination of the plane with maximum shear stress 81.5 clockwise for shear or plane of 130, 81 this divided by 2, 173.5 clockwise or 17.2, 8.5 counterclockwise of this of shear or plane of MPa, and tensile stress becomes sigma x, and OC, that is sigma x from here O to C becomes 22.5 MPa. Then 2.7. A circle of 200 millimeter diameter. A circle of 200 millimeter diameter. This is given here. This circle is drawn on a mild steel plate before it is subjected to mutually perpendicular stress 160 and 40 millimeter, both tensile respectively, along with the shear stress 60, and by after stressing, the circle of the plate deforms into an ellipse. Determine the length of the measure of maximum stresses of the ellipse and their direction per Kelvin E is equal to 205. Cp and Poisson ratio is 0.3. So all these things are given. Poisson's ratio is given, diameter is given, sigma y, and tau is given, and E is also given. So the maximum stresses we can write down sigma x and sigma y and tau, and put it in the value into this equation. We'll get the maximum stress of value 100 plus 8 plus minus 84.8 or 184.8 MPa and 18.2 MPa tensile. So tan theta is a 2 tau divided by sigma x minus sigma y is equal to 2 into 60 divided by 160 minus 640 is equal to -1. And so theta become 45 degree, and theta 1 45 degree, theta 1 will be 22.5, half of 45 degree, theta 2 22.5 plus 90 degree 112.5 degree. The major principal stress is 18.8 MPa acting on the plane 22 with the plane of 100 MPa, and minor principal is acting on the plane 112 MPa. Now, what is the major stress? Increase in the diameter along the major principal stress sigma 1 minus Poisson's ratio multiplied by sigma 2. So that is the total length divided by epsilon. Sorry, the total length is equal to 300 millimeter, which is given here. The circle length is total 200 millimeter diameter. So put all these values, length, E, sigma 1, mu, and 15.2, it will become the increase in diameter 0.176. So major axis of ellipse 200 plus 0.176 is 200 plus 0.76 millimeter, 176 millimeter. And decrease in diameter and the minor principal stress sigma 2 minus sigma 1 into sigma 1, 200 by minus mu into sigma 1, nu into sigma 1, 200 divided by 2